So you want to start a nonprofit. I get it. You see a problem, you care deeply, you want to help. But here's the thing that no one tells you. Starting a nonprofit doesn't automatically make your idea good or sustainable. Having experience as both a business owner and a nonprofit professional, I think operating a nonprofit is far harder than operating a business. I say that because there's a lot of governance involved and you're at the mercy of donors and funders. I'll probably make a separate video talking about that, but at least in this video, I'll be sharing some tips on things to think about if you're considering starting a nonprofit. Tip one, a nonprofit is a business. Let me explain. For some reason, we treat nonprofits like they're exempt from reality. But a nonprofit is still a business. It needs revenue, systems, governance, accountability. The only difference is where the profit goes. If you don't like budgets, operations, or decision making, starting a nonprofit won't save you from that. It will actually demand it of you. Tip two, passion is not a strategy. If you take nothing else from this video, this. Caring is important, but passion alone won't keep the lights on. You need to be clear about three things before you file that paperwork. 1, who exactly are you serving? 2, what specific problem are you solving? 3, why does your organization need to exist separate from all the others that are working in that same space? If your answer is because no one else is doing it right, do more research. You're going to be out there scrapping for the same resources as other nonprofits. Especially as federal and state grants become harder to come by, you're going to have a really compelling reason on why a funder would grant to you a new organization, new to the game, versus one who isn't new to the game, who's true to the game, who's been around the block, who's spun the block a few times. You're really going to have to explain why they should trust you over someone else who has been in the game for longer. Tip 3, you don't need a nonprofit to do good. This might be the most unpopular thing I'll say. You don't need a nonprofit to make impact. You can partner with an existing organization, start a program with that organization, volunteer at a leadership level, fundraise without forming a new entity for that organization. Sometimes the most responsible thing you can do is not start something new. Volunteering at a nonprofit is one of the best things you can do before even considering starting a nonprofit. If you're truly wanting to make a difference, volunteering may be the most impactful way to do that. Current nonprofits are struggling with volunteers and board membership. As I would say, as a nonprofit professional, the second most asked question I get is, how do I recruit board members? Volunteer by serving on the board of an organization that you're passionate about. That way you can learn what it truly takes to operate a nonprofit and what governance and operations really looks like in the day in and day out scenarios. Programs is just about 20% of what an organization will do. You also need to understand all the other pieces that revolve around operating a nonprofit. And I think a lot of passionaries are people who are really passionate about a cause, who start a nonprofit. They don't understand that on the outset. Tip 4, the paperwork is the easy part. Filing documents, it feels productive. It feels like progress, but the real work starts after that approval email. Boards, compliance, committees, reporting, donors, fundraising, expectations. If you're overwhelmed now, a nonprofit won't magically fix that rather. There are, again, all the other things to consider when starting a nonprofit, not just the program elements of that. And tip 5 I'll leave you with is sustainability is an ethical issue. What many people don't understand, or maybe not even understand, is I think what a lot of nonprofit owners or founders forget perhaps is that when nonprofits fail, people are affected. You have clients, communities, and staff who are relying on that nonprofit for services, for sustainability, for paychecks if they're staff. Sustainability isn't about ambition, it's about responsibility. If you can't imagine this organization existing without you doing everything, it's not ready yet. And there'll be a separate video that I talk about what funders are looking for when it comes to grant applications. But one of the most important things that funders look for is sustainability. There are so many nonprofits out there that just operates based on the funder, or not the funder, the organization founder doing all the things. The founder is the passionary. They're really wanting, they believe in their mission, but they are the only person that's feet on the ground, hustling, getting funders, providing the programs, setting up the board governance documents. If something was to happen to that person, that organization would fold. And that is one thing that many funders are leery of now, because they want to make sure that their investments are long-term, they're sustainable, and that the organization isn't going to close its door the next year because something happened to the founder. So sustainability is an ethical issue that I think many people forget about, but it's integral, especially for funding, but then also for the communities that that nonprofit might be serving. So starting a nonprofit can be powerful, but it really should not be impulsive. The goal isn't to build something with your name on it. It's to build something that actually lasts and betters the community that it serves. But it shouldn't be approached lightly. You should have a game plan in mind and enter the nonprofit arena with eyes wide open. Another side note, just quick, to throw this out. Another important part of this whole thing is with the nonprofit, you do not own the nonprofit. Unlike a business, if the nonprofit board doesn't like the way you are operating the nonprofit, they can oust you as CEO or as executive director. In fact, that is one of the core responsibilities of a nonprofit board, is to basically hire and fire the leader of that organization. So you do not own it, you do not control it. So that's something I think a lot of nonprofit founders forget when they are creating a nonprofit, is that this isn't like a business where you own it and it's all yours. You could be in one day and out the other. So with all that, that's all I have for you today. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want me to go deeper into a particular topic. Again, as I was kind of writing out this script, I was like, okay, there's several videos that can spin off from this, but if there's something specific that you're looking for, let me know in the comments. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. My name is Moni, and I'm creating videos for those looking to redesign a life that fits their aspirations. This includes content for entrepreneurs and nonprofit founders and everyone in between. If you enjoy this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. I make videos every day. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.